right, let's do this. I actually made a list of the things that I wanted to go over because I tend to go off on tangents and talk a lot in my videos, but that's something that shouldn't be new to you guys because my videos are just long. They're always long and I try to make them short, but I can't because I just like to talk a lot. I'm working on it. Okay, anyways, welcome to my channel. My name is Ada. If this is your first time here, thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. And while you're here, subscribe to my channel. If you're a regular here, hey girl, hey, thank you for being here. I'm excited to share this little life update with you guys because so much has been going on and I haven't been posting consistently on YouTube like this last month and a half, and I've been like beating myself up about it, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So let's talk. First thing I want to address is my rebranding. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know this information, but I actually rebranded. So I was formerly known as gypsyinthecity.com was my website, Gypsy in the City on Instagram and everywhere else, and Gypsy in the City TV here on YouTube. And I rebranded, and it was a very hard decision to make, and it was a very hard thing to do just because Gypsy in the City is and was and will always be such a big part of me. Now, I've been blogging for 7 years, but I've been blogging with the name Gypsy in the City for 5 years. The first 2 years of blogging, I don't even remember what my blog name was, and then I changed it to Gypsy in the City just because it was so fitting. And in the Western Hemisphere, the United States and on that side of the world, Gypsy is seen as someone who has a free spirit, someone who likes to travel, someone who has a dope soul, someone who's kind of very connected inwardly. I guess that's the best way that I can explain it, and that really resonated with me, which is the reason why I decided to call my blog Gypsy in the City. Now, in 2014, when I traveled abroad to Europe, I realized that Gypsy does not have the same connotation on that side of the world as it has here. Unfortunately, in Europe and a lot of other places that are not on the west side of the hemisphere, Gypsy has a very bad connotation. Just to give you guys a little bit of history, the Romanian people have been persecuted for centuries for being gypsies. And gypsy in Europe is a word used to refer to people who steal, people who lie, people who are conniving. And this is a word that's been used to refer to Romanian people. So this is something that they've been kind of dealing with their whole entire life, and a word that is like a derogatory term to them. And it's almost the equivalent of the N-word here over there to those people. And so I quickly realized this, and I was like, oh my god, like that's crazy. But since I don't live in Europe, like it really didn't faze me because I'm not from there and my target audience is in the United States. So I just kind of brushed it off. And then over the years, like the more I started growing, the more that I kind of started getting attacked by people online who are Romanian and of gypsy descent, and saying that I was racist, that I was using a derogatory term, that I was taking their struggles and kind of using it as, dressing it up as something pretty and mystic and whatever. And like I completely understand where they were coming from, but at the same time, that's not how it's viewed here in the United States. So I was like, okay, well, at the time when it was like a smaller amount of people coming for me, I really didn't mind. But this past year, like, I would always get comments on my Instagram like, are you gypsy? Or I would get like DMs of people just saying that I'm racist and like all this stuff, and I'm like, what the hell? And then on Twitter, like I kind of started ranting about it, and I was like, you know what, I understand that this is your struggle, but this is not how that word is viewed here, and forget it. Like people were just coming for me. I had to start blocking people left and right. And so when that started happening, it kind of, in my heart, I kind of felt like it was time to rebrand. And I'm like, damn, you know, like I'm gonna rebrand out of respect for these people because I don't want to disrespect them. Number one, I want to rebrand because I don't want the word gypsy in my brand. Like, I don't want gypsy in the city or just the word gypsy period to ever hold me back from any opportunities that might be out there for me internationally. I don't want to associate a word that does have a negative connotation in another side of the world with my brand, because I don't want to bring that negativity into my space. And those were just some of the reasons why in my heart I just felt like it was time to rebrand. But rebranding takes money. Rebranding takes a lot of work, or so I thought. And I'll explain this more, but rebranding does not happen overnight. It's a lot of work, and a lot of times there's money involved. And I have so much stuff that I'm working on right now that I just didn't have the time to stop what I was doing and rebrand. So I said, okay, I'm gonna hold off and I'm gonna rebrand, but I'm gonna do it in the fall, because that's when I'll kind of be done with what I'm working on, and I'll have more time to devote to it. And so I just kind of put it in the back of my mind, even though people were still coming for me and I was still blocking them left and right. Shout out to Janet Jones, the founder of the Vixen Army, who was defending me on Twitter, like literally going head to head with these trolls. And just trying to like clear my name in a way. So thank you, Janet. I really appreciate you. Wait, also shout out, since we're giving shout outs, shout out to my girl Teri Johnson, who's the owner of, I'm not even gonna pick this up because I'm gonna make a mess, Harlem Candle Co. This is the Lennox candle, and it's the essence of seductive flowers. Oh my god, like if you guys are obsessed with candles, like if you like Bath and Body Work candles, like step your game up a little bit, you know, because these are more luxury candles, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, if you want to step your game up in the candle game, my friend Teri sells luxury candles, and they're all inspired by the Harlem Renaissance and jazz and all the amazing things that were going on in Harlem at the time. And this candle is called Lennox, and it's the essence of seductive flowers, and it just smells so delicious. Like, I've had it burning for a few hours already, and it just fills up my entire apartment with this amazing smell. The candles burn really beautifully. The packaging, the design, like, oh my god. I'm gonna put her Instagram here and the Harlem Candle Co. Instagram so you guys can follow them. If you're looking for like a very unique gift to give to someone special in your life, get them a candle from Harlem Candle Co. I promise you it's something that they will probably never forget. I'm obsessed with these candles. I mean, I'm obsessed with candles period, but I'm just so proud of Teri and everything that she's done, because I remember having lunch with her a year ago and her telling me about, you know, this business idea and everything that she was going to do, and that she was going to meet with somebody to talk fragrances, and now look at her baby here. Okay, I digress. So I put off rebranding because I just didn't have the time to focus on it. And then what happens? A few weeks ago, maybe like what, 3 weeks ago now, I think 2 weeks ago, someone had messaged me asking me for tips for blogging because they wanted to start a blog. And I was like, oh, I have a great blog post on my website with tips for beginner bloggers. Let me send you the link. So I go to my site to send her the link, and my site is down. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? And so I stopped everything that I was doing that day. I think it was a Sunday. Yeah, it was like a Sunday 2 or 3 weeks ago now. I stopped everything that I was doing, and I tried to fix the site. I was called on the phone with GoDaddy, and nothing was working. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh my god. So anyways, to make a long story short, I couldn't get my site back up. The theme of my, if you know about blogs and you know about HTMLs and websites, the theme of my blog was malfunctioning. And so at that moment, I just decided that I wasn't gonna try to fix it, and that I needed to rebrand, because I just thought it was a sign, number one, and number two, I was headed to a blogging conference the following week, and I was going to be speaking about what I do and my brand, and I have no website to show for. So I was like, it's now or never. So I literally stopped everything that I was doing, and within 24 hours, like the following day. I had already kind of had an idea of the name that I was going to change everything to, and I had asked you guys for suggestions on Snapchat like a while ago when I was thinking of rebranding, and you guys gave me a lot of ideas, but I had a name in the back of my mind that just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and I checked to see if it was available, and it was available on all social media. The domain was available, everything was available, and because initially I was going to just rebrand to my name, which is Ada Rojas, but for some reason on Instagram there's like a million Ada Rojases, and on YouTube, so I was like, what the hell. So anyway, All Things Ada was available everywhere, and I just took that as a sign. So I broke night and I stayed up and I completely rebranded. So my new website now is allthingsada.com. You can find me on social media everywhere at AllThingsAda. The only thing that I wasn't able to switch was my Snapchat, so my Snapchat is still Gypsy in the City TV. It was either delete that Snapchat and start a new one for All Things Ada, or just stay with that one. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just stay with that one. And so yeah, my blog is not officially up yet. I'm still working on things on the back end, but if you go to the site right now, you can sign up for my newsletter and you will be alerted when the blog is officially up, which will be hopefully soon in the next few days. I'm still working on it. But yeah, I'm now All Things Ada, and I just feel like it's very fitting for my growth and where I am at now, because I'm more of a lifestyle blogger. I don't just do beauty, I don't just do fashion, I don't just do travel. I really cover all things. So I'm not a fashion blogger, I'm not a beauty blogger, I'm a lifestyle blogger. I love sharing my life with you guys. I love sharing all the things that I'm passionate about, all the things that make me happy. You know, whether it's spiritual and crystals, and or maybe going to church or whatever. If you see my blogs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I just love sharing my life with you guys, so All Things Ada just makes sense for the direction that I'm headed in. So I hope that you guys like it. I'm gonna have to think of a new intro for my channel now, because I'm like, I'm not just Gypsy in the City TV anymore. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about my rebranding, for those of you that were curious and be like, what the heck happened to Gypsy in the City? A lot of you guys still call me Gypsy. It's okay, I'll be a Gypsy forever in that sense of the word, right, that I explained earlier. But yeah, feel free to still call me Gypsy, but if you try to look for me online as Gypsy, you're not gonna find me, FYI, you know. Okay, moving on, next subject. So on top of that happening, February was just like a really rough month for me, because I had a lot of like things happen in the back end with my life financially. So you guys know that I blog full-time, right? So when I decided to blog full-time, like, maybe it wasn't the best decision for me to make, because a lot of bloggers that go full-time, it's because they're making more money blogging than they are at the real jobs, and that wasn't the case for me. And I have such a small following, so it was really like a little crazy for me to be like, F it, I'm just gonna blog full-time. But I believed in myself so much, and I genuinely love what I do. I've been blogging for 7 years, and back then I was not getting products sent to me. Shea Moisture didn't know who I was. All these companies had no idea about me, but I was just going out here and buying the stuff that makes me happy and sharing it with you guys. And if I still wouldn't be getting this stuff from companies, I would still be doing what I did 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, because I'm just passionate about what I do. And side note, I feel like so many people are constantly asking me, how can I become a blogger? Because they're seeing all the benefits that all these people are flaunting of being a blogger. But I feel like influencers are doing a really bad job at sharing all the struggles and all the hard work that goes behind what you see here. And it just makes me really upset, because there's so much hard work that goes into what we do. Whether you have a small channel, whether you have a huge channel with 3 million followers, there's so much work that goes into it. And I'm sure that the bloggers that have like the 3 million followers, maybe it's a little bit easier for them because they have so much more help, because they're quote unquote what everyone deems successful. But that's definitely not the case for me. And everything that you see that I do, I'm literally a one-woman team. And it can just be a little bit discouraging in the sense that people keep idolizing this whole being an influencer thing, and they don't really have a sense of all the hard work that goes into it and all the sacrifices that you have to make to be successful, right? So anyways, as a freelancer, you know, you have, most of you guys have your 9 to 5s or your regular jobs. You work your 40 hours, and those, at the end of those 40 hours, you know that you're getting paid XYZ. For me, that's not the case. I work on projects by projects. I do so many things. I freelance to make extra money on the side. I'm literally hustling 24/7. So February was like a weird month for me because some checks that I was expecting didn't come in. Some of them were mailed to the wrong address. Like basically like the payments that I was expecting in February just randomly got delayed, right? And I was counting on that obviously to pay my biggest bill, which is my rent. And so I didn't get to pay my rent in February, and I was like, oh my god. Every time my landlord would call me to ask me about the rent money, I like the biggest anxiety. And then like once she would call me and I would tell her that, like, you know, things weren't resolved, like I would just go into a depression, like, why is this my life? Like, why am I struggling so much? But then, like, I would cheer myself back up and be like, these are my dreams. I'm doing everything that I love, and I can't give up now. And there's been so many times that I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to have a full-time job and, like, blogging on the side. And I've gone on so many interviews, and I will get to, like, the 3rd round of the interview, and then I won't get the job for whatever reason may be. And I just have to take that as an indication that I'm on the right path, and I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I just have to hang on a little longer because things are going to get better in the sense that I am going to have a little bit more constant income to continue to do what I'm able to do. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in my life as far as my blogging career. And so February was so hard for me because my anxiety and depression just kept stemming from these damn money problems, and March, and so then that trickled into March, right? And so I'm just like going crazy, and I'm telling you, every time my landlord calls, I get anxiety, I get this, I get that, even though I know in the end that I'm gonna be okay because I'm putting in the work and it's coming back. So I know that I'm gonna be okay, but just not being able to do that, like just not being able to take care of those things at this very moment, but just that pressure and anxiety of, like, if you guys have been through a month where you haven't been able to pay your rent, or just been through struggles where financial struggles, you know the pressure that you put on yourself when it comes to that. So I was getting, like, I'm telling you, like, it's been so hard. It's been so hard kind of dealing with that, even though I know that I'm gonna be okay. Like, I'm sure if I talk to you guys next week, like, this is not gonna be the case for me. But it's just like, it just sucks how everything just happened at once. Like, freaking checks not coming at the right time, and then the freaking rebranding, and I was just like, why is this my life? Like, super stressed. Yesterday I was like, you know what, it's time to sage my room. Like, I'm gonna sage myself, I'm gonna sage everything. I just feel the need to sage and get rid of all this negative energy and this anxiety and this depression. My friend Zini, I'll put her Instagram right here, she has a shop, and she had was selling some of her stuff at the We All Grow market, and some of those things included crystals, like this beautiful amethyst that I bought from her, but I also bought some sage because I was running low on the one that I usually have at home. And I love how it came with the little clear cords attached. But anyways, I just saged my room and I saged myself, and I went to bed. And I went to bed feeling so much lighter. And I woke up today, and I was just, you know, cleaning and doing little stuff like that. And I'm like really obsessed with podcasts now, and I'm always listening to them in the background. And so I was listening to this podcast today by Jess Lively, and I'll put in the link down below so that you guys can listen to it. And I listened to like 5 of her podcasts today back to back because I just had it playing in the background as I was cleaning and stuff and doing the dishes. And one of her podcasts was on the law of attraction, and she was basically breaking down the law of attraction for people who just didn't get it, or people who were confused, or maybe were against it by watching The Secret. She just kind of broke it down, and it was mind-opening, and it was like the exact reminder that I needed, because sometimes you let things overtake you and you get so consumed by these little bitty problems that are only temporary. Like, they're only temporary. Like, you let these little problems consume you that are so small compared to everything else. And I just needed that reminder. I really needed that reminder, and I'm so thankful that it came at the right time. And basically she was just talking on the law of attraction. And so like I said, the podcast was on the law of attraction and the 3 most common misconceptions. And then she just dove into the foundation principles of consciousness and energy, the law of attraction, and how powerful it can be. And this episode was just perfect for anyone looking to understand the law of attraction. And it was so good. It was just what I needed. Just what I needed. And I was so like by it, even though I knew all this stuff already, but I just needed that reminder that I just went on a Twitter like spree talking about it. Because if you guys been following me for a while, like I did a vision board video, right? And a lot of you guys were like, oh my god, thank you for this vision board video, it's amazing. But one of the things that I didn't mention in that vision board video is that for that vision board to manifest in your life, you have to believe in the law of attraction. You have to be conscious of the energy that you're putting out. You have to be conscious of your intuition. There's so many things that have to be taken into account in order for that vision board to manifest. So if you don't have the basic understanding of the law of attraction, then you just wasted time putting that vision board together. So please, when you get a chance, just please listen to this podcast to give you a better understanding of the law of attraction. Even if you already know the law of attraction, just listen to this podcast because we could all use a refresher. I'm going to put it in the link below. So this whole entire time I've been going crazy, right, over like this damn rant and whatever. And it was to the point that I'm like, oh my, like it was giving me anxiety. And then she said some stuff that was just like, oh my god. And it was like, you know, this can be applied to all of us, whether you're in my situation or not, whether you're thriving and you want to make more money. If you want more money, the desire will only be met when you feel as happy as you would feel if you had the money already. So that made perfect sense, because the more that I was going crazy about the money, right, the more I was letting it consume me, the more that I was desiring it, the more that I was thirsty for it. And it's not gonna come that way because it's not coming from a good place. Does that make any sense? So basically she was saying, if you feel thirsty for what you want, you are just creating more desire for those things instead of attracting them. So I was creating, even on my vision board, like one of the things that I had put on my vision board was to get out of debt. And one of you guys commented on that and told me to take that off my vision board, because by me wanting to get rid of debt, I was actually attracting more debt. And she's like, what you should put on there is that you just want more money and feel like you already have it. And I'm like, I didn't even think about it like that. And it makes so much complete sense. To summarize it, things come to you when you change your mood to what it will feel like if you already had it. So if you're watching this right now and you're going through maybe money situation or money problems and you want more abundance in your life when it comes to wealth, stop thinking about the money. Stop thinking about the money and you getting the money. Change your mood to how would you feel and act if you already had it. Think about that. Think about that. Instead of wanting it, instead of desiring it, oh, I want $1,000 so that I can go on vacation. I want that raise so that I can make more money and live better. No, stop wanting the money. Instead, focus and change your mood on how you would feel if you already had it. If you already had the extra raise, if you already had the extra money to book that vacation, how would you feel? How would you feel? Change your mood to match that right now. And to give you other examples and kind of put things in perspective for you, let's say that you're looking for a boyfriend. All this time you're like, I want a boyfriend, I want a boyfriend. Stop looking for him. Be as happy with yourself as you would be if you were already in a relationship. Love yourself as he would love you. And then what happens when you do that? Like attracts like. So if you're already in that state, chances are you're going to attract somebody. It always happens that way when you least expect it, because you're actually focusing on yourself. You know, a lot of people hate the job that they're currently in. And one thing that I've been a big believer is work hard at your current job as if you are already at the top. So maybe you have a very entry-level position, but you want to be here so that you can make more money, X, Y, and Z. Work hard like if you're already at the top, like if you're already in a top position. And work like if the company that you're working for, let's say that you want to be your own boss and you want to be an entrepreneur, the company that you're currently working for is going to help you so much to get to where you want to be, in the sense that they're paying you to learn everything that you're going to be applying to your business in a essence, right? Because you're learning so many different skills. So treat that company like if it's already your company, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're slacking off and not doing your best in the current position that you're in at whatever company, how can you expect to excel as a CEO of your own company? And a lot of people say, well, if it was my company, I would, I would be more committed. I would work more. I would blah, 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 blah. Why are you waiting to get to that point? Why aren't you applying that to your life right now? Because I'll tell you one thing, if YouTube wasn't around, if social media were to die tomorrow, I know I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay, because it does not matter what job I have. I always go above and beyond, and I always push myself to be the best that I can be at whatever it is that I'm doing at the time, because that's how I was raised and that's how my mother taught me. My mother cleans. I remember going with her to work when I was little to help her clean. All of us would go and help her clean, and my mom would always just emphasize to be the best at whatever you were doing. So if you clean toilets for a living, you better be the best damn toilet cleaner ever, so that's just something that has always stuck with me, and I just wanted to pass that on to you guys, because that was such a big lesson for me, and a big reminder. Mostly it was just a reminder that I had forgotten. And we're all a work in progress, and this past month and a half I just kind of fell off track because I was letting that consume me so much and alter my thinking and alter my mood and alter my state. But today I just feel like a little switch went off, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to let that have such a huge control over me, because it's freaking temporary. Like, it's not my fault that everything happened at once, obviously, and it was something that I couldn't avoid. But I think this all happening at this time was just like the universe and God trying to teach me a lesson, because I know that what is to come is going to be so much greater than I could even possibly imagine. And if I don't have these lessons, if I don't learn what I'm learning right now, I don't think I'm going to be able to excel in the future. They always say to stay strong, because usually the most pressure comes to you right before you kind of hit your big break, or right before you finally get to your destination. And I just feel like it's finally time for me, and all the hard work that I've been putting in for so many years, it's like finally, like, oh, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's why I'm not gonna let this phase me, because amazing things are just around the corner. So this is my season to experience what I'm experiencing, and I'm just gonna thrive in it. So thank you, universe, for the reminder. Just wanted to share with you guys. So anyways, thank you for watching this long ass life update. I am so glad that we were just able to chat, and this is like, I just wanted to be real. I wanted to be raw. Sometimes it's hard for me to express myself, because I'm so passionate about what I do. I really am. And it's not about the hair. It's not about the makeup. It's not about the clothes. It's not about the lifestyle. It's not about the image. It's not about the likes. It's not about the comments. It's so much more than that to me. And I hope that you guys are able to see that with everything that I share. Because when I started blogging 7 years ago, there was no one There was no one online, or just like a handful of people that looked like me, that looked like you. And that really inspired me to put myself out there and to share my favorite lipstick and to share the products I use and to share everything that I loved. And with this community that was so underrepresented online. And I just want to show the world that Latinas are smart, that Latinas are strong, that Latinas are hard workers, that Latinas are tenacious, that Latinas can persevere, that Latinas are warriors, but we're also princesses at the same time. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do. And it's so much more than what you see. It's so much more than what I could even see. And I don't know where this journey is taking me, but I just find comfort in knowing that in my heart, I'm doing what makes me happy. And I don't know if you're watching this and you don't know what makes you happy and you're just trying to figure out life, and shit can be hard, right? But if I can give you any advice, it would be to follow your curiosity, because that's how I got to where I am now. I just followed my curiosity. There's a tiny little voice in your head or a little feeling in your heart that you get when you're curious about something. Don't ever shut that down. Always explore that. If you want to know more about anything because you're curious about it, follow that curiosity and see where that leads you. And then once you get there, if maybe it's not what you thought, and then you get an itch to do something else, follow that curiosity. And then once you get there, if that's not what you thought, or maybe that took you there but then that takes you somewhere else, follow that curiosity, because following your passion is just so stupid advice, because you don't know what your passions are. It's not like one day you just wake up and you're like, I'm passionate about this. No, you follow your curiosity, and they're like little breadcrumbs. And this is something that I heard from Elizabeth Gilbert. The best way that you can be led to what you're meant to do, or led to something that makes you happy, is to follow your curiosity, because it's like little breadcrumbs and you will soon see how everything connects to the bigger picture. So for me, it was, I love the internet. I love connecting with people. I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. I love the digital world. I love makeup. I love hair stuff. I love being creative. And I've always followed those little things. I always followed my intuition and my curiosity about those little things that were fun to me. And they all just accumulated into what I'm doing now. And I'm thankful that I always follow my curiosity. But you know what? Like I said, if social media and this whole influencer world were to die tomorrow, I know that I will be okay, because I will continue to follow that voice and chase my curiosity. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. I'm so thankful. And I really wish I can hug all of you and just tell you how thankful I am. And thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I don't know where you are in your life right now. I don't know what struggles you're going through at this very moment when you're watching this video, but I just want to let you know that you're gonna be okay, that everything is figure-outable, and those little things that make you curious, don't stop chasing them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.